table willing to share what you talked about, or something you hadn't thought about, or something interesting that you all discussed? I know every table talked about a little something different, so.
We took the first question, and that is, as kingdom people, how do we build upon those commonalities in our everyday lives? And I think the consensus was the way we live our own life. And Sarah expanded that a bit. Tell us how you expanded it.
I didn't say anything until like the very end.
So that's why I remembered that.
Well, we did have this consensus that the most important thing is the way we live our lives and not, trying to change the world unilaterally. And I suggested that after we get that, maybe the next step, the change that we seek would be for the people whose voices aren't being heard. That if we talked about how difficult it is sometimes to stand up for the things that we believe in for various reasons, and that if I'm going to take a risk, it's not going to be for something that I don't care that much about. I would take a risk for people who don't get to be heard as much. And so, yes, it's about living our lives, but if I just only live my life, then where does that go?
Other conversations?
Well, we looked at question 4, how might this series further God's kingdom on earth? And we said a lot very similar to that. And of course, Allison finished up with a beautiful rendition, and so and I'm going to borrow Albert's theory. But basically, yeah, I thought that was great. But she was right on target with what she said, and that was, if I butcher it too badly, but, let's treat everyone with respect.
Genuine respect.
Genuine respect, exactly. Let them know that, even if we don't completely agree with them, we respect their opinion, and we can support, and we can be in fellowship, and we can be in community with them, even if we don't completely agree. But genuine respect, that was the, of everyone.
In everyday life.
In everyday life.
Right, yeah.
That's right.
Okay.
Very
Is that-
good.
Okay.
I have to check, just come on with family. I won't break to read. I want Ben to tell
Almost
what you
timing it
said, because we had the pleasure of having a young man at our table that gave us a lot of insight into the future. Tell them what you said.
We talked about culture, church and counterculture, and everything that changes the culture.
Yeah. Now tell them, you have a lot of homework. Tell them to talk to them.
I think that I tried to clear up some misconception of what the younger generation's view of this type of topic is. And the conversation went into social media and how we're getting so much information now and how to decipher and how not to necessarily block out what you don't want to hear just because it's negative, but to actually turn the conversation around from a negative to a positive. I don't know that we ever came up with a solution on how to turn the conversation around, but we came up with a general consensus that that's what has to be done.
Yeah.
That you can't just ignore it or turn it away.
Yeah.
And that, this is something that even the younger generation says, it's not just a total loss for the younger people. We're all angry.
Absolutely.
Ben in my generation was able to relate to the others here.
Yeah, no, that's great, that's great. That's part of what this is about, is being around the table with people who are different ages, come from different places. That's wonderful. Well, we don't have enough time to expand a whole lot on this, but I wanted tonight to be first, because I think that when I talk about reframing the questions, I think the next 3 weeks we're going to talk about refugees, we're going to talk about gender, and we're going to talk about what it means to be a Christian and patriotic, or care about our country, right? And, I think that oftentimes we get drawn into these conversations as liberals and conservatives, Democrats, Republicans, Americans, Westerners, all those things. But if we are called as people of faith to seek God's kingdom first, if our identity, and we believe our identity to be first, of those who are made in the image of God, and if we, in fact, as people who are baptized into the ministry of Jesus Christ, if that's our new birth, if that's our true identity, then the question is not first what we believe as conservatives, liberals, Republicans, Democrats, but rather as a Christian, as a person of faith, who wants their individual lives to somehow, over the course of that life, take one step toward bringing this kingdom to earth. How do I think about this particular issue? What's my stance then on this particular topic? That's a very different conversation, okay? And those are the conversations we're having over the course of the next week, okay? So if you weren't prepared for that conversation, I'm sorry. That's where we're headed with this. We are to be furthering God's kingdom on earth. So as it relates to these topics, and we could talk about any topics. These are some that are most relevant in people's minds because they're being talked about in the media right now. But we could talk about anything. And the first thing you can do to change the temper of a conversation is, as a Christian, this is just how I feel. As a person of faith who believes I follow Jesus first, and Jesus was this way, this is kind of where I fall on this, at least to the degree that I can understand it. And that's a very different way that I'm seeing the conversations take place on Facebook and social media, on the news, in the newspapers, and even among ourselves outside of this church building. Okay? So I hope this gives some context. The conversations will get a little juicier over the next few weeks, I have no doubt. So please come back and bring your friends, and I look forward to it. I'm going to close with prayer, and then we'll have for the night. So let's pray. Gracious God, we thank you so much for those who are a part of this conversation tonight, for their willingness to come and to listen and to engage in dialogue about you and your kingdom and who we are called to be as people of faith. We pray tonight for all of our leaders throughout the world, but especially for those here in the United States, for our government leaders, our president, our Congress people, all those who make important decisions on our behalf each and every day. We pray for your wisdom and guidance to lead them, and that we might be a voice of reason and wisdom to them along the way. It's in Christ's name we pray all these things. Amen.
George,